Hello and welcome to We'll Watches. This is Star Wars Visions episode 8. This one is Lop and Ochō. I'm quite looking forward to this one. This seems like a cool concept. They're like having a non-human main character. I know TOB1 wasn't a human, but it was like an android. This is like they're exploring like a different race, and it seems like this episode might not focus on Jedi as much, and it will focus more on kind of like a family kind of story, maybe like a story of adoption. I feel like it'll be like Lop, who's like this other race being adopted into a family, and like about two sisters or like two siblings. That's kind of the idea of what I have for this episode is. So before we get into it, be sure to check out the Patreon. Over there you can find full length timer-based reactions, 1 week early access, and polls so you can vote for what's next. So let's just jump into Star Wars Visions episode 8. Okay, that's a very realistic looking ship, isn't it? Very detailed in the 3D work there. Yeah. Is this gonna be a critique on capitalism, kind of, or like industrialization? Okay, so the people are these like bunny people. The subtitles are like out of sync here, but I think it was what he just said about the people growing. You know, they're growing sick of the imperial rule. It's kind of like a slum. It seems like there's like a big class system here. There's like a slum, and then there's the Empire ships. Is she just stealing stuff? Oh, she was like a slave and escaped. I like the character designs in this. Yeah, so it gets adopted. Ochō is her, okay. The animation here is super expressive, especially with her, Ochō. I love the watercolor backgrounds here. This is very Ghibli, you know? Even the style of this, it seems like they have a bit of a grain on everything, and the line art isn't as like well done, as in like it's quite scratchy, but it adds to the style. Good family portrait, yeah. 7 years later, okay. Is there like an uprising? TD is the droid. I like the droid design. It's got the little arms. What's the dad's doing? Oh, he wants to uprise. Okay. Yeah, before it gets any worse. Two different ideologies. He wants to rebel and she wants to use their resources. Yeah. I love the art in this. It's got a very kind of like 90s anime vibe, I guess. Yeah, this is kind of like a take on kind of like American influence, isn't it? You know how kind of America and China, they both do this where they go in and help other countries, but it's almost as a way of taking over. So they already knew. Yeah, so the family is all kind of falling apart.
今からでも多少荒っぽくはなるが。
のことは謝ります。落とし前をつけるため。
そうの地位を与えよう。この星の未来のためだ。
They want to like promote her even further.
だこと絶対に許さない。姉さん、一人で決めないでくだ。こんなやり方も。
Oh, that's cool. So she's joining the dark side, kind of. I feel like she might just be doing this. She needs to save face in front of the Empire or something. So she might have had to have done that just to, you know, she knows it will be better for the greater good, I guess. That she plans to betray the Empire or something. It seems like just the way she was like smirking there. They've all abandoned him. Yeah.
お父さん、私はこの星が好きです。今のまま守りたい。また3人で暮らしたい。
Yeah, she just wants everyone to be happy.
お父さん、力を貸してほしい。
Oh, he has a lightsaber.
お前のことを見くびっとったいうつもりやね。ほじゃけどの。
Oh, that's cool. That close up of her eye and all the reflection and all the stars. Like seeing the stars. Yeah. I love this. This episode, just like the 4th episode, it feels very steeped in culture. And look at this. This is really cool. I wonder what that says. Yeah, stop using tech.
Oh,
so Jedi, the concept of Jedi is kind of long forgotten at this point, apart from through this family. So he's going to train Lop, but that will just divide Lop and Ochō even more because he's chosen Lop over her. Oh, I just got chills. Yeah. That bond cannot be broken. It's a cool looking sword as well. So Ochō's just staying here. Was that just like a suicide mission on that ship? She needs to go help out. Oh, that's cool. The warping of the perspective on the ground. Using her umbrella. You can see like the kind of class disparity here. Like they've got all these trees and the natures in the rich bit, and then it was all slums before. That's cool. They're just using regular swords and weapons, aren't they? Not necessarily lightsabers. Is she gonna try and like work her way up and do it from the inside? Is that what she's doing? Oh, it's distraction she needed. Oh, she took out his eye. He's completely blind now. Wow.
関係ない。その子は血もつながっていないでしょ。後戻りなんてできないよ。
Yeah.
天下の方。
Oh, it's got like inscribings on it as well.
後継ぎは私じゃない。
Yeah. She feels even more betrayed now though. Oh, I like this, doing the black background, because all that matters right now is the character. I love the design on the lightsaber as well.
家族でしょ。うちに帰ろう。また一緒に3人で家族のみんなで暮らそう。
Oh, showed a photo of them.
私が本当の姉さんを取り戻す。
Oh, I love this. This is gorgeous. And she's force sensitive as well. Yeah, the animation here is great. Giving her a big X. I don't think that killed her, but it might give her a scar similar to what the dad had, you know? And she's just gonna fly off.
大丈夫。きっといつか
Yeah.
ちゃんと家族になれるから。
Is it just gonna end on that note? Okay. So that was episode 8. I really enjoyed that. Almost felt like at the end there they were leaving it open for a potential sequel cliffhanger, you know? And that might be one of my favourites, probably just behind The Village Bride. I thought the animation, especially in the fight scenes, was really great. Just like all around this episode was just gorgeous, but the fight scenes were great as well. I wasn't expecting this to be so fight orientated, but I think because of that, because I didn't expect it, it made it even better. And you know, this is similar to the twins, where we have a story about siblings and them fighting, but I feel a bit more of an emotional connection here because we saw a bit of their backstory and we saw, you know, how they met, and we kind of saw how one fell down a bad path and one stayed on the good path, rather than before it was like they were both already bad and one became good. It's kind of like a flipped version of that, I guess, but I think I enjoyed this more than the twins. I loved some of the elements here where, you know, during the fight the background went black just to focus on the characters, because that's what's most important there. Then it happened again where it just kind of went white and you just had the cherry blossoms falling behind them. That was really beautiful. This episode in general was just gorgeous. And it was a bit more creative, you know, we're seeing like a new race that they've come up with. You know, she's just like a bunny girl, but it's still cool to see something else. And then this design on the sword, you know, this episode, it definitely takes like a lot of like traditional Japanese elements in kind of the visuals, you know. The dad, what he wears, he's like very like a classical old Japanese man. And then all of the architecture, you know, especially in his house, was really like Japanese as well. Again, this is one of the longer episodes, and I think it really does just help those few extra minutes just to get to know the characters a bit more and just build up, you know, a bit of a relationship with the characters. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. This is probably my second favourite episode behind The Village Bride. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider leaving a like or a comment. And if you really loved it, be sure to subscribe so you can keep up to date for all the future uploads.